And he said, I don't like the hesitation. I don't. And I was with him. Broncos with the touchback here, they'll just kneel down, you would imagine. And you think about the change of direction of this game with that drive. Yeah. It's now 17-7, and the Raiders are basically playing make it, take it here. They're going to get it out of halftime.
Remember where it started?
At the 2.
That's a monster drive. Monster drive.
Max Crosby jumping in the air on a kneel down. That's the kind of energy around this thing. End of the first half, the score, Raiders.
Thanks, guys. Well, as you were talking about that final drive by the Raiders, so was Sean Payton when I spoke with him going into the tunnel. He said that was an absolute killer. He is looking to be better on third down. He said we've also got to run the ball better offensively. I asked him what he thought about Jarrett Stidham's play. He said, I think he's playing very solid. Now, on the flip side for the Raiders, Antonio Pierce told me he believes they just have to finish in this second half, and he will see another Raiders victory. But when he talked about Max Crosby, he said that's what we expect from him. He is playing great, and that is why he is this team leader, guys.
Yeah, we saw it, especially in that second quarter. Max Crosby causing havoc. Your first half stats, Denver just 111 total yards. It's a team that has struggled offensively at points this year. The defenses both have gotten better for both of these teams in the second half of the year.
Yeah, so I think Denver, what they have to be able to do is take advantage of those 4 receivers. They have mismatches someplace on the field, and Stidham's got to be able to find that mismatch, and that's I believe that's going to be their ticket.
DeAndre Carter back to receive from the end zone, trying to avenge that earlier miscue to the 24, and the Raiders will have it out of halftime. Las Vegas 17-7 leaders, and this team, which is 7-9, they're not going to finish over 500. But Antonio Pierce told us this week, and he said it publicly, hey, I called everybody in and I said, look, if you don't want to play this week, we'll pay you. Just walk out right now. He said, champ, we'll pay him, right? And he said, yeah. And nobody walked out. Everybody's in. Everybody's locked in. And to Megan's point, just trying to finish with another victory. Zamir White gets the first touch. And he crashes forward for about 2 on first down.
I really like this linebacker core for the Denver Broncos. I think they've got speed. I think they got guys who can read very well. They believe their eyes. Josie Jewell and Singleton on the inside, and Browning and Cooper on the outside. I really like those guys. I think that's a strength of this defense.
Cooper has had a breakout year with 8.5 sacks. Call it 2nd and 7. That is Johnson, the fullback, in motion. Play action. O'Connell loads of time in the pocket. Now he has to chuck it as Browning was bearing down on him. Ohio State against Purdue there. 3rd down and 7.
He was looking for that deep crosser, and it never really came. But the protection was outstanding. He was back there. He read a book, took his time, sip of coffee, and then just threw it away.
You reading an entire book takes the same amount of time as a sip of coffee.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Your mornings are interesting. I'll tell you that.
I hate coffee, by the way, just for the record.
Thank you for clarifying. We all were wondering. 3rd down and 7. Abdullah, the 3rd down back in. Some movement right at the line. No marker comes in. O'Connell this way and nothing there.
Outstanding coverage by these Broncos, and there's nowhere to go with that football. He had a lot of time to throw, and he could see the field, and he did. He went from right to left. You're going to watch this on the top side. They're just going man. Now Devontae right there had a shot, but then it was closed so fast there was really no place to go with that football. Down the field was locked down. So nice job by the Broncos.
Cole on the punt. And that goes spinning all the way back to the 14-yard line. And Mims on the return. He does end up at the 28. That is another 60-yard punt for A.J. Cole. Max Crosby has created trouble for the Broncos so far. He's back out when you which launched Washington into the college football playoff finals.
Ready.
Denver, after a drive of 108 for the Raiders. Stidham over the middle has it for Javonte Williams. It's a gain of 9 with Spillane and Epps collaborating.
Yeah, I think this Denver Bronco offense has got to spread it out a little bit. They have to be careful with Max Crosby. They've got to be able to handle him. But they have an advantage when they have those receivers in there, both with size and speed.
Is there time to get them down the field would be the question.
Yeah.
We're going. Ready. Wait, 20 seconds.
It's Williams.
Oh, nice
tackled at the knees by Nate Hobbs, the cornerback.
Hobbs read it perfectly. He was lined up close to the line of scrimmage. He kind of faked like he was going to come on the top side, and then as soon as he sees it, he jumps right inside. Really well done. You see Powers going outside, and Bowles was kind of blocking to the outside, was keeping his eyes to the inside, and he took the gap and made the tackle. Well done.
Best tackling cornerback, highest volume tackling cornerback in the NFL since he's come into the league 3 years ago out of Illinois.
Yeah, he was like that in college as well.
Hey, kill.
Instead of changing the play late play clock. And they'll run it stretch play to the right. That's Javonte Williams, and a good decision there. Diablo stacks him up, and he'll be very close to the line to gain, and they will move the sticks. First down, gain of 10.
Yeah, Diablo. So Spillane comes up and he's going to take this thing on. He takes it on with his shoulder. If he comes straight down the middle, he has a chance to be able to make a play. But he takes it on with the shoulder to the outside, and offense blocks him. The gut.
Miners. The gut.
Love that guy.
20 seconds.
Quick set. It's Mims on the screen. They love running screens to him, and Merrick knows it.
Yeah, Merrick does a nice job, because what you're betting on one-on-one, you're going to miss this tackle, right? That's on you. So you have one guy blocked, and then the guy you have to make him win. That time, Merrick beats him.
Marvin Mims, who is a Pro Bowler as a returner, has nearly half of his catches this year on screen passes. That was one of them. And just 2 yards on the game. Year 1 for Sean Payton.
Crosby's asking for the crowd to get into it.
Second and 8. Diablo inching up to the line. Crosby chases Stidham out of the pocket, and Jarrett Stidham just has to throw it to the bench.
I don't understand that. Okay, just from my perspective. So you have Crosby lined up. You have a tight end. Now watch how the tight end's going to try to block him. He just kind of like that's embarrassing. If you're going to chip him, chip him. Hit him in the mouth. Don't just like slide it. I know he has to get out into the route, but you put a lot of pressure on Stidham.
Guarantee you they were talking to each other after that as well. Stidham had a smile on his face as he left the pocket at the end of the play. They have to hurry, and they might need those timeouts later. Very close, right at zeros, and it's a sack anyway. Adam Butler got there.
They brought 5, so they brought an extra guy. They probably were in man coverage. I didn't get to see it, but they got there before they could get the ball off, and that's all they needed. Here comes the extra man right there.
This was a 7-part dance after the sack.
What that is. I've never been.
No, if we get a chance to watch it again, that had like 7 different stages of a sack celebration. I mean, that was well choreographed.
I like the way they got there more than what they did after.
To each his own. This goes rolling toward the end zone. What a play right at the goal line, but it wouldn't stay out. That's Riley Moss, the corner out of Iowa, who tried to keep it out of the end zone. Jimmy Garoppolo into the ball game at quarterback for the Raiders here. His first action since the day before Halloween. Aiden O'Connell is out, and Garoppolo spins it too high for Hooper. Under pressure from Zach Allen, so he's trying to work it all out, the former Super Bowl quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, and he was not met with happiness from the crowd.
Well, they roll him out, they use his feet, and then he has a guy open. He just missed him, but of course Garoppolo took San Francisco to a Super Bowl, and on the other side you have a quarterback who's sitting on the bench and took 2 teams to the Super Bowl, winning one.
Russell Wilson over there, benched a couple of weeks ago in favor of Jarrett Stidham, and this is a run for Zamir White, and it'll be 3rd down at about 6 for Las Vegas. You know, it's an interesting season for Russell Wilson in so many ways, Matt.
I think he's really talented, and you know, he has great movement. He can throw the ball on a run. He sees the field well. He has all those things, but when you look at the numbers, they weren't doing great. I mean, they just had a passing offense that was averaging 189 yards a game. That's not great. They were 26 or 23rd.
Pressure from the corner. McMillan didn't get there, but Josie Jewell did.
Josie Jewell has been playing this way ever since he's been at Iowa. He's just a nonstop player. He can be physical at times. He's a smart player. Believes his eyes. Most guys inside don't believe their eyes. He does. The outlaw Josie Jewell. Dying ain't much of a living.
I knew it was coming. I love what he said about the last game of the year. He said, no matter how good of a season I had, with the last game of the year, I have a play that gets botched, I'm going to be thinking about it all offseason. Another boomer for Cole. Might have been a block in the back there, and the marker does come flying in.
And that was Mims who was flying. And they got on his back, and he drew the flag. I'm sorry, not Mims.
Well, they went flying by Mims because of Riley Moss's block in the back
DJ
there.
Turner.
During the return, illegal block in the back, receiving team number 37. The penalty's half the distance to the goal. It's 1st down. Timeout.
The round of applause you're hearing in the background is because Aiden.
Welcome back to Las Vegas, where the Raiders lead the Broncos 17-7, and Raiders quarterback Aiden O'Connell has returned to the sideline. He is working out a right index finger injury. He was taking some preliminary throws here on the sideline, but guys, he is questionable to return.
So after the play, Matt, I want to ask you about that for a quarterback.
Sure.
It's a run. It's Williams and Diablo in pursuit. So what does that index finger mean to a quarterback?
Yeah, so that's the most important one. That's your controlling finger as you're throwing the football. There's two digits really. It's your thumb and your index finger. And when you're throwing the ball, that index finger is the very last finger as it releases, and basically your controlling finger in that throw. And so it's a big deal.
See the wrap on that right hand there.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yellow 20, yellow 20. Opposite.
Something you can't inject because you need the feel of your hand.
We'll see if he comes out next drive. It's Pirine crashing into Epps right around that line to gain.
You know, he did a really nice job right there as Hobbs. He did an outstanding job of not letting it get outside and kind of holding until the guys got out there. And then Epps was able to come in and make the tackle on the backside. You're going to watch him. He's already on the outside all the way through. See how he tries to keep it back inside. He's getting mauled by the tackle. But he did his job. He kept everything inside and allowed him, the guys, to come inside out and make the tackle.
They will say 1st down. There is Hobbs, the 3rd-year man out of Illinois. Fake the toss. Stidham over the middle. He's got Troutman, the tight end. And the former quarterback, Adam Troutman, roaming free across the 40.
Nicely done by Stidham. That was really well done. He saw what Max Crosby was doing. He's going to jump to the inside. You can see Crosby up top here. He's going to jump inside, and still makes the throw. Has enough patience to be able to wait, let him come clean.
Stidham over the middle. It's Javonte Williams again. Spillane is there on the stop.
They're letting Cam Fleming all by himself right now on Max Crosby. They haven't given him any help. Now they're getting rid of the ball quick, which you'd expect, but he's doing a solid job right now on Max Crosby.
But there is no time to get the ball downfield to these receivers as Johnson's checked in. He's at the top of the screen. He did have a big catch earlier. Williams.
Right there.
Yeah, there is. They're trying to punch the ball out. That was Butler just hammering away. Matthew Butler going to town on the football.
Yeah, he does that at the end of the play, but what made in the beginning of the play was Max Crosby. He's going to go hard on the inside, and he takes that edge and brings it down. Hobbs comes in and does a good job of holding the edge, and that allows Epps to make the tackle. And there's the punch to the ball.
Lawnmower. Yikes.
Good team defense right there. Know and do your job. That's the rule.
On 3rd and 3, Broncos just 2 for 7 on 3rd down. Stidham on a slant. He's got it to Johnson and a 1st down. And right now for a game break, let's check in with Carissa Thompson in Los Angeles.
Thank you so much, Jason. Cowboys getting very close to locking up that 2 seed in the NFC. Dak Prescott throws his 4th touchdown of the day. This one to Brandon Cooks. Dallas in control, 35-10 over the Commanders. Jason?
If I may, turn out the lights.
Yeah, I think that's right. How many playmakers do they have in Dallas?
They got him on both sides of the ball. And Micah Parsons is a player. Oof.
Play action. Stidham leans into it down the middle, tipped away beautifully by Jack Jones. Oh, what an effort flying through the air. It was Kroll the target, and Jones wiped it away.
That's a great read by Jack Jones. He's the corner, right? And so he's got deep third, and he just tracks this ball all the way down and just gets his fingers on it. Really well done. But what we didn't see is how far he came to be able to get there from the outside in, and made a great play.
He has been an outstanding pickup for the Raiders.
Yeah.
A couple of defensive touchdowns since he showed up in mid-November. 2nd and 10, Stidham. Down the middle again. That's been there all day for Javonte Williams, and it'll be 3rd down and short. 3rd and about 3 coming up.
And you know, you got to take a shot every now and then, and I agree with what he just did there with Stidham. But your bread and butter is still moving the chains, right? And so you just got to go back to what's working. If they're giving you the underneath stuff, just take it.
Stidham 4 for 5 on the drive. Lutz as long as 52 this year, so they're nudging up into field goal range. Third and 3. Here comes Crosby again. Stidham has to waste it deep.
You said it right. That's a waste. That's all on Max Crosby. Max Crosby forced that throw because he was going to have an up route on the outside, and he wasn't able to get it. But I mean, he beat him. He beat him right off the snap. Fleming didn't have a shot. Again, right there. They didn't help him. They're just letting him go. That's a mismatch. They need to help Fleming.
Sean Payton must feel like they are outside of Lutz's field goal range with his long of 52. They'll go for it on 4th and 3.
They're bringing it.
Stidham incomplete. He didn't have the time he wanted, and he threw it into traffic. The Raiders take over.
Pressure got it. You're right, 100%. And a turnover and downs.
So the Raiders take over, and Aiden O'Connell is back under center after one series away. It is Zamir White with a crease again, and that first hole has been there. It's a gain of 9 for White, and you said it, this line is so different with Colton Miller back and everybody in their slot.
Yeah, Colton Miller doing a nice job right there. He and Parham on that left side. You can see he's getting from 2 to 1. He's going from the double, getting up to the second level to the linebacker into Singleton, and he gets a push. Singleton gets in on the tackle, but it's 8 yards late. That's when you're really rowing. And right now, I think Zamir White's got to be closing in on 100. He had 75 at halftime.
11 short. It's a run on 2nd and 2. He drives the legs forward into Purcell, and a first down for the Raiders.
I think James on the inside is having a nice game himself. The center, Parham on that left guy, and on the left guard, and Van Roten on the right side. When they've been able to run, just kind of power inside, they've been doing a nice job. And I think that whole thing, like you mentioned before, Colton Miller in the lineup, they're a different offensive line.
We've seen Parham slide into the center spot. Andre James, who's going to be a free agent after the year, back in that center position today. Another give, and White is torn down by Purcell. 2nd and 10 of the 2024 NASCAR season. Drops the green flag next month with the Clash at the Coliseum. And on February 18th, it's the most iconic day in all of motorsports as the Great American Race returns. The Daytona 500, only on Fox. You've been here at Fox for a while. Have you been to Daytona?
They've had me. They've invited me, and I have not gone.
What are you doing?
I've been in the shop building stuff.
I thought they were working on you in the shop. I thought they're trying to get some of the parts back into service. 2nd and 10. It's a handoff for White, and it'll be 3rd and long for O'Connell. You have to take people up on invitations like that.